Hello, my dear. Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, oracle card advisor, paranormal investigator, voice for your loved ones. Okay, so you've done this before, you know how it works, but I like to remind people this is not an exact science. Sometimes you got to stretch it outside the box a little bit. We communicate the best way we can. They don't always tell us what we want to know, they tell us what we need to know. It's his ball game. So we're going to talk to Brian today. He says I'm doing absolutely awesome. I'm fine. He's mentioning something. He says jangling, but I would say jingling. He's saying jangling. Jangling. He's holding up what looks like car keys. So when you hear those car keys jingling, and it doesn't count like if you've got them hanging from your steering wheel and you're going down a bumpy road and they're jingling. That really doesn't count. It's maybe you're sitting still and you hear them jingle and you haven't touched them, or you just hear car keys type noise jingling when you're sitting in your house. If you're walking through the store and you hear somebody jingling their car keys, that'll count. Or how else can you hear it? You might hear somebody jingling them in their pocket. Some people have that nervous habit of jingling their keys in their pocket. Or maybe he had that habit. So that will be a sign. Make sure you validate him, acknowledge him, tell him you love him, and ask him to bring you more. Give him permission. And I always tell people, when you're in a deep grief, and I don't remember how long he's been gone, when you're in deep grief, it's like there's a wall around you. It's like it's hard for them to get signs to you or get you to notice them. I don't understand that, because that's when you really need them. But it's just the way it works. So just know that might have to ease a little bit before you're relaxed enough to where you actually see and hear more. He said he's ashamed of himself. He's ashamed of what he did to you, and he's apologizing like over and over and over and over. He said you need to forgive him. That will take some of that wall down. You need to forgive him and forgive yourself. He says you're beating yourself up. He wants you to stop that. Stop beating yourself up. You cannot own this because it's not yours. Please don't beat yourself up. I've been through the same situation, so I know it takes a long time before you can stop beating yourself up. He said there's a cure, C-U-R-E. Love yourself. Love yourself like he wants you to see yourself like looking through his eyes and looking at you. That kind of love. He wants you to love yourself as much as he loved you. And he goes, damn it. I know you don't think I loved you because I left. I know that, but I do. Hear me out. I do love you. Had nothing to do with you. He's just talking about things being scrambled. Please find a way to let that go. You can't have it, it's mine. Allow me to own what is mine and take that burden off of you. You need to let me have what's mine. So before I started doing this, they said I needed to pull a release card for you. And we got surrender unhealthy relationships. Let go of relationships that don't serve you, including unavailable or toxic people. You deserve to be treasured by others and to be surrounded by positive people. So sometimes they ask me to pull one of these cards. Unhealthy relationships can also be yourself. You can be talking shit to yourself all the time. We talk more shit to ourselves than other people do to us. So consider that could be part of it. He's not saying anything. He said you do talk bad to yourself concerning his situation. You talk bad to yourself. The shoulda, woulda, couldas type of thing. You need to stop doing that. He's always showing a fishing pole. He's always fishing. I don't know where you live. I think you live up north. I live in Kansas. Um, he's showing a fishing pole and suggests that you go fishing with him. Okay. He's kind of suggesting the same thing I do with my bob. You don't have to physically do it. I don't know if I've ever physically done it, but well, yes, I have. I've gone and sat by the river. Visualize. Just visualize. 2 lawn chairs sitting next to a creek. At least mine's a creek or a river. Could be anywhere you want. Where there's water. Take your fishing pole. Go sit in a chair. And ask him to show up and sit in the other chair. And you might have to do it several times. It took me 3 or 4 times, I think, before it actually started working. But if I want to go sit and talk to Bob, that's where we go. To the creek bank. So seeing how your dad always comes up with this fishing pole, I think, and Bob and I take fishing poles too. He's fishing and he waits for me, leaves that chair open for me. So try it. I don't know if you're far enough along where you can do that or not, but just visualize it. Or physically do it. Go sit somewhere. You don't really have to take a fishing pole, but go sit by the water somewhere and ask him to join you. And then see what happens. Sometimes a feather will just drop down and just float real slow in front of you, or I don't know, there could be something go by or something that you hear that reminds you of him. So could be like a boat go by that I don't know if he had a boat or not, or anything that would make you think of him. Just watch for the signs. So you might try that if you have time. I know it's getting cold, so I think maybe you live up north, so I know it's getting chilly. Anyway, he's suggesting that. He says there's some happy occasion coming up. He's calling it an event. So usually when they say event, it's like wedding, birthday, something along anniversary, something along that line. He could be talking about Thanksgiving. He says, I know this Thanksgiving will be more sad for several reasons. I will be there. and he's showing himself like in the corner of what looks like a dining room, and he's standing there with his arms folded, and he's just standing there watching. Whether he'll step forward and do something, I have no clue as of yet, but as of right now, he's going to be standing in the corner. There might be such a, I don't know if you're going to have people over or what. I am. Not a lot, but family. Um, uh-oh. Do you have, uh-oh. I should have looked to see where you guys are from. Do you have that governor? That one? I don't want to say her name. The bad one? He says, fuck her. Family is family. He's telling you to be defiant. I'm not saying that. He says be defiant. Do you live in Michigan? Oh, Lord. He doesn't like her, and he's up there. Well, if that's not where you live, no, he still doesn't like her. Be with family, he says. It's important. He says it again, fuck her. And he's going to be there. So he's not showing that he's going to do anything. So you could just maybe walk past a certain spot, just feel something tingly or funny or different pressure in the air, or that you'll probably be so busy if there's other people there that you may not even notice it. Ask him to step forward that day. He doesn't act like he's doing like a lot of letting people know he's around. He's kind of like one of those silent observers. And sometimes he's not saying this, but sometimes when I see him do that, they're not sure that they should step forward. They're not sure that they're welcome. They're not sure that they should. And they also don't want to step forward and do something that's going to spook the hell out of you. So talk to him. Tell him it's okay. Give him permission. Allow him to do it if that's what you want. And maybe that'll rev him up a little bit. And like I said, a lot of times they think they shouldn't. They're not supposed to step forward. So they just stand there and observe and make sure everything's okay. And then they leave, go somewhere else for a little bit. Okay, so you've either been sitting on the side of the bed or laying on the bed, and you felt something like pushed down on the bed, and it probably, and I'm just saying probably, I don't know, depends on how good he can do it. It'll probably be just very slight, or it could just feel like the bed wiggles a little bit, or you might actually feel him sitting down on the other side of the bed. The pressure of, he's trying to anyway. He sits there and he's humming. He's humming a lullaby as you're going to sleep or while you're asleep. And of course, I'm hearing lullaby and goodnight, da 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 da. You don't want me to sing, I promise you. But he's humming it, so it could sound like a humming noise. You might actually hear the melody. It might just sound like a buzzing or something. I'm not sure how that you're going to feel his energy or hear his energy, or if you hear some kind of buzzing, and it'll probably be very, very soft and you can't tell what it is, just tell him, I can't understand you. You need to change your vibration. They don't quite know how to get quite on our vibration where we can understand them. So, see, he and I have to get on the same vibration in order to do this. So, he's saying yes very strongly. He was in a dream. Excuse me. And you know, clearly, I need to quit smoking. So, you can always tell the difference between a visitation and a dream. You know, when you have a dream and you wake up and within 30 seconds after you open your eyes, you know, it starts disintegrating. Quit smoking. Visitation, I still remember the one I had about 8 years ago. Every detail, every word, every picture on the wall, the box that was sitting on the table, exactly how I turned around. You'll remember the color of their shoelaces. I mean, it will not fade. That's a true visitation. And sometimes you can dream about them. Doesn't mean that they're visiting. So, I don't know. It's a little hard to tell. He said he strokes your hair as you sleep. He's trying to bring this enormous amount of love energy into you for peace, for comfort. Ask him to do it. Give him permission, and then you have to allow it. I mean, I ask him for all kinds of good stuff, and then I end up blocking it. And I end up going, they bring it to me, and I go, yeah, no, I don't want it. And they go, Rhonda, we brought that crap to you. What the heck? Now you're turning it down. Our free will choice to say no. Okay, he's mentioning the word white, White, and I don't think he's talking about his name, even though it's close, kind of similar, got a lot of the same letters. But I don't know if he's talking about the color or somebody's name. I almost feel like it's somebody's name. Maybe I would assume last name. I don't know why he's bringing this up. It's his show. Do what he wants. Just remember, I love you. I want you to be careful of who you allow to talk to you that way. I think we're getting back to the unhealthy relationships. You don't deserve to be talked to that way. He wants you to make sure and keep your self-esteem up high and not let other people's judgments sway you. Be happy. I want to see you smile. Now he's mentioning a cruise. I don't know if he's talking about actually being on a cruise ship, or if he's talking about taking a cruise down the road. No, he's showing me water. So I don't know if you've been out on a boat recently. So it doesn't have to be like an ocean liner cruise. Did you go out on a boat recently and just kind of cruise around on the water? Just not really, just enjoyed it? He says you need the fresh air. Be careful, it's scary up there. And I think he's talking about all the stuff that's going on with the virus and stuff. We know that. Okay, he's over here by me, and he bends his head down here real close, and I can smell his aftershave. So you should get a whiff of that. You could, I'm sure I probably told you before, you can be anywhere. You can be in your car, the store, your house, doesn't matter where you're at. You can get that little whiff of his aftershave. That's a sign from him. So again, validate him, acknowledge him, tell him you love him. Ask him to bring you more. Don't beg, just ask. And then let it go, and he'll do what he can do. He's saying something about he doesn't feel like he has the right to. So make sure you let him know. He's asking him something. He's not answering. I always have people ask questions, but it doesn't mean I can get an answer out of them because I can't twist their arm. He says basically he's in the rest and rejuvenate mode. So he just relaxes. Um, when we go back up there, we go through a cleansing process, and they kind of peel us like an onion, and they take all that heavy crap from Earth. They peel it off of us. Some of us, it takes a little longer. Some of us have really hung on to some shit. And he said he's kind of in the cleanup, makeup, I don't know what that means, mode. Where he's just getting all that heavy stuff cleaned off of him. He's being cleansed. He's being healed. He's being healed from the heavy stuff down here. And like I think I said, it takes some a little longer, but so he's just in the relax, get his energy back, get his vibration higher, like it should be, like it's supposed to be. Somebody's grandma is there. He didn't say his grandma. He said somebody's grandma. Somebody's grandma. Wait, but let's see if he's going to tell me who it is. A very, 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 very loving grandma. I can't see her. I can feel her. And that's up to them to step forward enough for me to see them. And there's a reason if she doesn't. But he's with this very loving grandma a lot, and she's helping with the healing process. She's helping not so much cleanse him as with the healing and bringing more love in, so that helps heal him. We don't just go up there and poof, we're angels. It doesn't work that way. Don't know why. Not under my control. That's just what they've shown me anyway. So right now it's his job to kick back, relax, let the healing process work, to learn to feel love like he's supposed to, like he needs to. And I hear the name Shirley, but we stink at names. The more I say it, the worse I make it. But so it's at least it's a female with an SSH name. It could be Shirley. Once in a while we get it exact. Used to. Don't know why we don't anymore. He said she's lighthearted. She brings a lot of fun, but she brings a lot of love, and it's very nurturing for his soul. And he's turning into a beautiful, bright soul again. Got all that heavy stuff off of him. And he says, I love you. And I'm learning how I should have loved you the right way. Love you. I didn't love me enough. You need to love you, love yourself. Don't listen to the other people. So I don't know if somebody's saying demeaning things to you or if you're doing that to yourself, but it sounds like he's talking about somebody else. He's shaking his head. Don't do that. You're a beautiful soul. You need to find that. Don't wait till you get up here where you find out how beautiful your soul is. And just know that I love you. And he said that very soft and very tender. And talk to me. Talk to me when you have tears. Just talk. And I'm sure I probably told you before, I promise you 1,000%. He can hear you, he can see you. He's not giving me a lot of evidence of that, though, this time. Okay, he's getting up. He says he has to go with Grandma. It's time for him to go. He's got stuff he has to do. He's got things to learn. He's got lessons to learn. And with that, he's walking off. Okay, my dear, thank you very much for allowing me to be his voice. Try this sitting in the chair, at least visualizing it. Try it and see what happens. Much love to you. Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, oracle card advisor, paranormal investigator, voice for your loved ones. Later.